It is about Paris in post-World War II sort of reconstruction. You know, what it means to recover from that event, whether it's, you know, somebody who lives in Paris, or somebody who, you know, came to fight, and sort of redefining a sense of purpose and a sense of self when a lot of the things around you that you've known have been destroyed.
How does tragedy, how does conflict, how does difficulty bring people together rather than divide them? And I think that that's pretty universal and something that can be for anyone at any time.
Beautiful storytelling, a celebration of the spectacular Gershwin music, and the underpinning story of two cultures coming together. And I felt passionately that it was something that our audience would respond to, that it was a great story we'd love to tell. And I think our communities certainly need to remember and learn that the better we treat each other, the more tolerant that we are towards others, will brighten. And that bringing and speaking to the world around us through art, music, dance, the given arts, and such, will brighten people's lives.
The music of George and Ira Gershwin is so quintessentially of this period. I don't know that there's another composing source that is so evocative of 1930s, 1940s. I love I've Got Beginner's Luck. I think that the melody of that is just overwhelmingly infectious and happy. Like, there's such a joy to that song.
Swonderful is probably one of my favorite songs. I really like that one.
Also, I've Got Rhythm is a favorite. Mm-hmm. I'm off stage then, I'm in my dressing room and I sing along. You won't find it. Round my door, I got starlight, I got scenery, I got my album, ask for anything more.
When you come to see a classic like this, there's a level of expectation to meet that audience's expectation of what they really want to see and their memory of what the film is. It's beloved, people love it, and when you go back and you look at it, it was done beautifully. So our job really is to take that and run with it and give it a fresh look, like fresh eyes, and still let people connect to what they love about it.
But what's interesting about American in Paris, the musical, for the stage, is that Craig Lucas wrote a book that is very, very real and pulls no punches. It does show a little bit more of the darker side and the reality of post-war France. And I really enjoy merging that reality to this beautiful soaring score of Gershwin, and sort of tying those two things together, the really heightened, beautiful, soaring fantasy, and sort of the reality of where we're at socially.
The most amazing thing for me about this show, and I think for a lot of the audience members, is the music. So even more than choosing one specific moment, I think I find such joy in those little moments when the music really is our storyteller. The most descriptive and powerful moments within the piece, I find, are when the music is narrating for us.
The music tells me exactly what I'm feeling. This score is so specific and has goes through so many different areas that it just really, if you just submit to it, it takes you where you need to go.
We particularly wanted to explore how to widen that berth of the kind of dance that spoke in the piece. In particular, if the character of Lise was spoke through the language of ballet, then, well, what if Jerry, as the American, Jerry Mulligan, just spoke in great old American tap dancing, modern dance, jazz, song, and dance?
The George Gershwin music, the Concerto in F, which starts the show, the Rhapsody Ballet, which ends the first act, and the American in Paris Ballet, which ends the second act, they're incredibly beautiful and expressive pieces of music. They don't have to be these huge ballets if that's not what you're able to portray. You can do it with a slice of panto. You can do it with storytelling through staging, rather than tendu, releve, pirouette. The music is so expressive and the orchestrations are so beautiful. If you sit with them and just listen to them, they will tell you what to do.
The crux of the orchestration, and certainly the centerpiece, is the piano. This music is piano-based, it's piano-driven, it's piano virtuosic. You could ostensibly go and see this show with a pianist and feel the entirety of what this music is saying.
Period garments, especially, period garments in the mid-40s, were not necessarily meant to be, do a double pirouette, right? Or a jeté leap. But we have to be able to do that with these pieces. And so when we looked at fabrics and we looked at textures and fit, we had to think about all of the movement that not only that the actor would do or the performer, but that the fabric would do. So we looked at fabrics that had stretch, things that would flow with spins, and especially for Jerry, pants that enabled him to tap, leap, bend, fall down, all of those things, and still have that sort of period vibe and feel.
Lise. The benefit of An American in Paris is you move so quickly between locations, and there are so many locations and several of the locations have to happen simultaneously in moments, is that you can't create full stage scenic looks for it. You can't create the entire Burrell-Mans, and I think the show sort of has to function with pieces, which is actually really beneficial for places with smaller budgets, smaller stages, is you can get away with a window frame and a desk for a scene. You don't have to create the entire mansion.
Also, I always think of projections as kind of the mortar between the bricks of lighting and scenery. So sometimes up there we're more scenic, and sometimes the projections are more tied in with lighting.
Very often, budgets don't allow for all the equipment in the world, and you're talking about being the mortar is at the point where you're really making a lot of the changes and getting your show cemented together. Projection is able to accomplish a lot of things very quickly and graphically that we can't do. The utility of projections, and then just the pure artistry of it. It's free from a lot of the heavy equipment that a lot of the other the scenery and the lighting uses. Is very helpful.
I think a lot of theaters in the country will find that performers are excited to perform this title. And when you hear orchestrations like this and these songs performed this way, you feel it emotionally. It's a visceral reaction, is what I told our music director last night. You can feel the audience feeling the impact of it. So excellent reaction, and it's selling beautifully. Sometimes previews will start a little slower in a regional theater, and certainly even here at Ogunquit, but just full houses right out of the gate, and they're jumping right to their feet at the end of the show.